Thanks for hanging out with us on the Tech Matchmaker. I hope today's spotlight sparks some fresh ideas and real solutions for your contact center. Want to dive deeper into the tech we featured? Hit up the show notes for all the links and extras, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if there's a challenge you want us to tackle, don't be shy, reach out. I'll catch you soon with more innovation, more use cases, and more ways to keep your business moving forward. Stay curious, stay bold, and keep exploring what's next. Hello, everybody. Today, I'm pleased to introduce you to two of Intradiem's best. I have Rachel DiBello, who is the Enterprise Sales Director, and Larry Swift of the Vice President of Solution Consulting. Welcome to the podcast, you guys.
Thanks, Gina. We're excited to be here today. Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks so much for joining. So I always like to start with the basics. So Rachel, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Gina. Yeah, I've been with Intradiem as in the sales function for about 8 years now. I have the pleasure of working with our prospects and onboarding them as customers. So I work with them from the very beginning of the journey of understanding Intradiem, building business cases, rallying excitement, and ultimately onboarding them as a customer of Intradiem. So it's been a wonderful journey. It's a great company. Just looking forward to the future with Intradiem.
And Larry, how about you? What's your
Yeah,
history?
thanks, Stuart. I've been with Intradiem a little over 14 years now. I head up our solution consulting group, as you mentioned. I have a little over 25 years in the contact center. So really excited to talk to you today.
Excellent. And Larry, I think with your 25 years of experience, how about you give us the elevator pitch on Intradiem? What does Intradiem
Sure.
do?
Yeah. So believe it or not, fun fact for those that are not familiar with Intradiem, we've actually been in business over 30 years. We have a real-time automation platform that does not replace anything in your contact center today, but rather gets real-time data from your existing systems, like your workforce management system, ACD, LMS, to name a few. And having that real-time data allows us to take actions in the now. And we can talk a little bit more about what that means as we have this discussion.
Yeah, and let's pull that thread a little bit, Larry, because so if it's not replacing anything, does it sit on top of my CCaaS or whatever? And when they say like the different platforms, well, we do real time. Talk to us a little bit about how you're different and what your differentiators are.
The unique piece about Intradiem is we do not have direct competition, and the good and the bad with that, right? So when you think about what we're doing is we're sitting in between workforce and ACD systems to grab that data. Now, when we get a little deeper of what we do with that data, imagine what a real-time analyst does day in and day out, right? They have this perfect plan going into the day based on historical call volume, yet it never follows that plan. Right. So what happens? They become firefighters. They're constantly trying to put out fires. Where Intradiem really plays is having that ability to proactively react to what's going on right now and fire actions. An example might be, hey, I have some untapped capacity right now. There's some idle time. Why don't we dish up a critical communication or a computer-based training that wasn't pre-scheduled, but rather we're taking those pockets and filling them with productivity? Another area that we might look at is how often do agents go to lunches or breaks exactly at the right time? Few and far between, right? Well, imagine being able to have our pulse on that and adjust those breaks and schedules to reflect what's actually going on. At a high level, that's just kind of a couple of our solutions that really make us a different platform.
Yeah, and I can say for the people like people that I've crossed paths with that have had the fortune of having you in maybe their previous employment, boy, do they notice the difference of how they're able to manage and run a center when they go to their next job that maybe doesn't have Intradiem. So I would guess, while you may not have be the only one in the competition, word of mouth and users definitely helps you along the way, because I know that's how I learned about Intradiem along the way, which is wonderful.
It's so true, Gina. Our customers are our biggest salespeople. They make my job incredibly easy because when they evangelize on our behalf, sometimes without us even knowing, right? We find out, we get a lead or we get a request for a new, like a demonstration. And it really comes from just that word of mouth, which we're so fortunate and grateful for. But it's really a testament to how well the platform is providing value for our customers, that they're willing to go out there and spread that word. In a world today where most people don't want to leave a public review or things like that, it just speaks volumes to the partnership with Intradiem when they do.
Absolutely.
Um, it starts with our culture, right? We're a people first company, and we're absolutely a people first company. We're known as the green and orange, and we really partner with our customer base to ensure that we're not looked at as a vendor. We're looked at as a
And I think that's definitely what I've sensed in the customers that I've spoken to that have used you in the past. Tell me, you guys, is there any vertical that you are more prevalent in or that you have greater success in? Or are you across everything from healthcare to retail to utilities to you name it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. When you think about the problems that exist in contact centers, they're not siloed by vertical. The challenges are real regardless of the industry. Agent burnout, and retaining and engaging employees in a meaningful way, how that transcends into a customer experience. These are things that every call center cares about. So while we have deep expertise in banks and financial institution, healthcare, telecom, the really large enterprise contact centers where they're multi-site, multi-skilled, multi-line of business, things like that, we can solve massive amounts of problems at scale, but it doesn't have to be that either. We can look at smaller contact centers as well. The challenges are the same. People are people, and they're looking to solve it. And that's the dynamic nature of Intradiem too. We can be very customized based on the current contact center environment of that particular customer.
And with that, how do you ensure your product stays innovative and ahead of the industry trends? Because there is, I mean, wow, right now we're moving at the speed of light, right? With AI and everything. What does Intradiem do to stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah, so Rachel kind of touched on it that our customers are our best inventors. We've recently released two newer products. The first one called User Productivity Tracking that takes desktop analytics and it utilizes our features of firing real-time actions and come into play. So it's really taking and enhancing desktop analytics. The other area, as we dip our toe into AI, is our burnout indicator. So now we are able to leverage data that we have and to a machine learning model to start to predict attrition or burnout before it ever happens, and then proactively suggest remedies, such as wellness break, one-on-one coaching, as an example.
Yeah, and Gina, how we keep ahead of that too, as Larry mentioned, our customer community is very robust and active. So we are very intentional about how we meet with our customers. We have a variety of different ways in which we do that, from an executive level all the way down to the user level. We have roadshows, we have events, and we really listen and sit down with our customers to understand what challenges are they facing today and what can we do to rally around them to provide new solutions that are going to help them solve its problems. And it's amazing what happens when you get folks in a room together. You might have banks in a room that are direct competitors, but they're willing to share some of the challenges that they're having because we're able to give them real tangible solutions. So we really listen to our customers, and we place a significant amount of our investment back into the business, our business, to further fuel innovation. But it really does come from the feedback of our customers. We go next, and it's been really a lot of fun.
I love that. I mean, eating your own dog food, right? Customer experience matters, the agent experience matters, and focusing on what your customers are saying is such a great story. Speaking of which, and I know, how about both of you share one success story each as far as your kind of this is a good shining moment for Intradiem?
You
Yeah,
want to go first, Rach?
sure. Ladies first, Larry. Yeah, so a recent success story for me, CCaaS is all in every one of our contact centers, whether it's It's a topic that people are trying to figure out, CCaaS and AI, right? These are the things that contact centers are looking for. What's the next, the transformation that's going to happen? Um, every single customer of ours is either in the beginning, middle, or end stages of their CCaaS deployment. And as part of that, it's been really interesting to become a part of that journey. We are a critical part of and have become a critical part of the CCaaS transformation because we have a unique ability to integrate into legacy applications at the same time the future state CCaaS. So as organizations are rolling out thousands upon thousands of users from their premise to their cloud-based solutions, we just follow along for the journey. And the best part about this and why it's so critical is that we're helping fill a gap that exists when you go from a premise-based application that sometimes has been implemented and enhanced over decades to a CCaaS solution that is going to provide amazing new technology, but there's going to be some gaps there. We can help fill that gap in addition to providing that consistent experience for the agent. And then just as important, we're able to, because of our automation solution, there's a significant hard dollar ROI here that Intradiem self-funds itself. We pay for ourselves within a matter of months. So there's that in-year payback, but we can also be a part of the contributing savings and funds to the CCaaS initiative, which we all know those are big price tags. So it's a huge win for the business. And I would say that there's been numerous of those projects this year.
That's a good question on that. You mentioned you're at the beginning, middle, and end, and I would have thought bring them in after, right? Like once you get everything up and running. So are you saying the best time to bring you in is kind of, hey, we just purchased a new CCaaS, let's deploy everything at the same time? Can we talk a little bit about that for our listeners? Because, reporting's always kind of that thing that's left to the very end, right? Even though it's the most important thing in our business, it sometimes is an afterthought. So talk
Yeah,
to us a little bit about that.
it's a huge, huge missed opportunity if Intradiem is brought in after the fact. The reality is the sooner that you can bring us in, whether it's part of the RFP or even before, right? When you're thinking about CCaaS, putting Intradiem on the front end of that is going to help not only drive savings and contribute to that overall agent experience that transcends from premise to cloud. Larry mentioned we have a use case that around finding that pocket of availability throughout the day and delivering training. CCaaS is a perfect example. Like there's a massive amount of training that's going to happen on the front end of, this CCaaS transformation. Use Intradiem to deliver that training. Find the time, deliver the training, and get that ROI going. So what we're finding now is through our ecosystem, we have a very robust partnerships across all the workforce management and ACD vendors that are out there, CCaaS solutions. They're including us as a requirement. And it's proven to be a differentiator for those partners as well in winning the business. So it's a big missed opportunity if you put us in on the back end.
Yeah,
Excellent.
just to add on that, it was a great home thing. We recently acquired a large financial institution, and they absolutely put us in the RFP because of, as she mentioned, our customers are our best people. Somebody familiar with it said this has to be upfront, right? They knew the power of it, and now it's being deployed with a CCAS project out to 25,000 seats.
I have so one more thing to that too is that when you think about a CCaaS project, this is a multi-year journey that you're going on, and it's a huge amount of transformation that's happening. Intradiem on the front end, we're deployed within just a matter of months from the start of the project to launch. So, and then combine that with the in-year payback, it's a no-brainer to put it on the front end.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Larry, what's your favorite success story?
I'll give you a general one. Workforce personas. When was the last time they got a nice new shiny, right? 20 years ago with a workforce platform. When I have conversations with workforce personas, I absolutely love it because they come into this with the mindset of, well, we're already doing that. Yeah, you are already doing that. I like to say real-time analysts should be called real-time transactional workers, right? They're constantly reacting to what's going on. Now, after we have that initial presentation and we show them what's possible, it's like a kid on Christmas morning, right? They get super excited because they're always in the back of the bus and they start thinking of how offsetting all these manual tedious processes are going to allow me to get a seat at the front of the table and really start to get better at optimization. So, like I said, in general, it's just the excitement that we
Generate. I love it. How do you guys envision your product changing? Like how is Intradiem kind of evolving? And I know you mentioned you take all the feedback from your customers and that kind of thing, but what do you guys see on the horizon? And if you can't share it, I get it because everybody's, might not be released yet or whatever, but what do we have to look forward to?
Yeah, with our dynamic workforce orchestration engine, it's allowing us to use AI now and start to leverage that even further to explore more of those problems that we're seeing, not only in the contact center, but any type of frontline persona, right? We're being deployed to, nurses, doctors, you name it. It's not just tied to the contact center, and the evolution is continuing over the next 18 to 24 months.
Gina, one other
Without telling you specifics.
yeah.
Yes, I totally appreciate it. Totally appreciate it.
And I would also say too that, Gina, when you think about contact centers or just any workforce, that is the single largest investment that these organizations have in their budget, right? Like this is a huge number. And creating solutions that engage and empower those front lines and retain them, we're really focused on that as well. So that's a big, big area of focus from where we started 30 years ago to where we are now, where we're going. And also just how Intradiem fits in the ecosystem when you think about AI in general, right? There's always going to be the need for the human touch, right? So we strongly believe in automation, but it's automation for human beings. So we are never going to advocate that we're automating things away, right? What we're doing is we're making experiences better and we're investing back in the agent workforce.
Absolutely.
Right? AI is taking these easy tier one calls off the table. What's that going to leave? That more difficult call. So, what better way than to equip your agents to be ready to attack those with knowledge and other things?
Definitely. And I think that's something that most people are making the differentiator in the market space today, right? We want to make sure that the agents understand that we are focused on their experience being better as well as the customer's experience being better. And you guys, I to wrap things up, I've always been a fan of James Lipton. And so if you've watched the podcast, you know what's coming next. Little bit of rapid fire. So Rachel, what is your favorite word?
I would say that it is value.
Larry?
I'll go with resilience.
Excellent. What is your least favorite word? And Larry, we'll start with you.
Can't. I hate the word can't.
Me too.
Similar to Larry, no. If someone tells me no, I will just dig my heels in.
Excellent. What excites you the most, Rachel?
The upcoming Philadelphia Eagles season. Go Birds.
Love it. Larry, how about you?
I think all the new relationships I continue to build by preaching about the value that this can bring, it really truly brings real world relationships.
Excellent. And you guys, if somebody wants more information on using Intradiem or like a demo, who should they reach out to?
I think they should just reach out to you, Gina, and then you can connect with us.
Perfect. You guys, thank you so much for your time today. I've really enjoyed our conversation and learning more about Intradiem. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to having you back in the new year with one of our joint customers.
Yeah, thanks
We
a
can't
lot. This has
wait.
been really
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Tech Matchmaker. I hope today's spotlight sparks some fresh ideas and real solutions for your contact center. Want to dive deeper into the tech we featured? Hit up the show notes for all the links and extras, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if there's a challenge you want us to tackle, don't be shy, reach out. I'll catch you soon with more innovation, more use cases, and more ways to keep your business moving forward. Stay curious, stay bold, and keep exploring what's next.